Good morning, everybody. I hope you are having a super awesome day. You have joined your girl Takela Swain here on Life Enchanted, and I am excited to be speaking with you. I have recently been reviewing and doing different segments on the concept of leadership. We all know that all leaders are not created equal. So, how they choose to interact with their teams or how they engage with their families and different things of that nature, it can be overwhelming sometimes to see the different variations. But if you want to be an effective leader, whether it's in your family, in your company, in your community, you need to do certain research and things like that to see what type of leader you are and how you are being portrayed in the eyes of those that you encounter. And so, as I was reading this one particular story, and I was reviewing the information of this one particular leader, the concept of a door came to me. And so, of course, when we think about a door, we know that it is a tangible component that serves as a point of entry or access. And so, of course, we have doors in all of our homes and cars and things of that nature, and it lets us transition from one position to the next. However, we never really think about the significance or importance of the door, which is sort of what a leader is. They are the person who can give or remove access from individuals in their lives or in their compartments of leading. And so, with that responsibility, you have to know when to lock that door, when not to let certain individuals have access to certain things, and when to open it and allow it to be accessible. And so, when I was thinking about that, I was like, that is very true to a concept of a door. And so, as I reviewed that and looked at it, I was like, okay, this is something that I need to take note of and put it away, for later. Well, as I continued to review and look at the information, I noticed that there was a story about this one particular leader who had a particular element within them, as we all do, that we need to continue to work on. And for him, he never really allowed proper leadership to come through this door. He was given a position. He was very well known in his town, of course. And all of a sudden, he was given this position to be like a major leader in their area. And so, of course, with that comes a whole new level of responsibilities, a whole new mindset that you have to have. And you also have to deal with certain personal concepts within yourself that, may not be on the up and up or may not be at the caliber in which you're going to be when you're in this certain position. But he never really dealt with that situation. He became more of a people pleaser. And so he even though he was the one in the leadership role, often he allowed those who were around him to be the one to make the final decision. Even though if like a major decision was made, he could be gun ho on it, committed to someone else in doing that. But he still allowed someone else vantages or viewpoints to sway whether or not he committed himself to that. So anyway, one day his main supervisor or the leader over him, of course, because everyone has someone that's over them in some form or another, gave him specific instructions like you need to go over to this particular agency and you're going to take over everything. I mean, take everything, get rid of it. We are bringing our own people in. We're going to be the ones running this company. Don't leave anything untouched. And so he was like, okay, I get it. We'll go there, be able to get all those things, and we'll assess what's there and go on. Well, when he went there with his men, he told them what it is like, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're taking over this particular company. We have to make sure we get rid of anything that the old company actually left behind, because if we don't, it may not be necessarily true to the vision and mission that we have. And so we just want to sort of start from the ground up. Well, when they got there, that was the plan. But when they got there, some of the people that he brought with him realized that some of the things that were left by the other company was pretty great. They were just like, oh, these policies are pretty good. Some of these equipment that they use still is in like good, condition. Why get rid of something that is still, of purpose? Let's keep some of this stuff. And so, even though he knew what he was told not to, what to do, to go in, rip out everything, just start afresh and new, he gave in to them because he wanted them to like them. To like him, he wanted them to continue, to be on his side and not have any ruckus or anything to come from them, and then he has to stand alone. And so, a representative actually came down of the company, and he came. And when he came there, he looked and he was just like, now, I know we told them to get rid of everything that was here and that we were starting afresh and it was going to be something brand new, but I still see equipment here. I still see old pictures and things that they displayed as their core values and things up. I still see those things in here. And so he went to him. He was like, man, what's going on? And he was like, hey, we did what you all said. We went on and served notice to the company. We gave the people severance packages. We told them what needed to happen. We took all those things. And he said, is that right? He said, so why is it that I'm still seeing some of the equipment that was here from the previous company? He said, so why am I still seeing, even that you guys have some of the values and core components that was listed up before, I still see those things posted throughout the building. I told you that we wanted to get rid of all these things and to start afresh and anew. Why didn't you do it? He said, well, I did. We threw away all of this. We took care of all of those things over there. He said, but okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. When we got here, some of the workers were just like, this stuff is still very valuable. We can go and like sell it and use it. We can sell it and actually use those revenues towards the company. That's what we can do. And he said, that's not what I asked you to do. He said, even though you may not see that you are the leader for this company, because he knew that he still had some self-esteem issues and really didn't know how to be an effective leader and didn't really seek out help to get that. He said, even though you don't see yourself as the leader, I had appointed you to be the one to rule in this area. But because you have chosen not to follow the directions that I gave you, you're fired. And so he was just like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, listen, I didn't know it was that serious. Like, I definitely do want to be a part of this company. Please go back and tell, the up and ups that I'm going to do that. I'm going to tell them that we got to get rid of this stuff right here. We can't do it. And he was like, no. He said, we gave you an opportunity, we gave you an assignment, and we see that you are more satisfied in pleasing those that are in your area than complying with what we have set as the moral and values for our agency. And we don't want anyone working for us like that. And that's like major, right? Everybody, of course, when you are assigned for a task, you want to see it to completion. And so this particular leader, he was just like floored because he couldn't believe that it had got to that point. He thought, like, we did almost everything you asked us to do, so why is that an issue? The reason why he failed in that area, as I said before, he did not deal with the fact that he still had areas within him that needed to actually be cleaned up. He had doors, if you will, as I said before, inside that he gave people access to that shouldn't have been there. He should have locked away that particular area where he chose to be a people pleaser, and he should have tried to get assistance and mentorship and guidance to help him to properly get up to the place where he needed to be so that he could properly leave those that he was in. And so I know some of you guys are like wondering, man, that was sort of harsh, or where did this come from? You can find this wonderful story in the book of 1 Samuel in chapter 14, I believe, 14 and 15. And I'm going to see if I can see that component now for you guys, because when I saw it, it just floored me by the fact that Saul was given a particular element that he was supposed to do, and yet he chose. Yes, that's correct. 1 Samuel 15, and you can look at 18, and that one, it tells the conclusion of that particular story. And so I just wanted you guys to see it from a different standpoint of that sometimes when you're given assignments, as Saul was, you thought you were doing what was supposed to be right, but because you allow other people to have access in particular areas that you never really fully healed from, it resulted in you actually losing a position or losing out on God's favor over your life because you chose to please man as opposed to God. And so when I saw that and I reviewed it, I was like, man, this is so crazy. But I just wanted to share that little nugget of wisdom with you guys. Lock away those areas that does not need to give everybody access to. If you know there's a particular weakness in you or an area of growth that you need, go ahead and start working on that. Go ahead and seek out mentorship and help so that you could be prepared for what is coming your way, because there's many blessings, many points of leadership and directives that we all need and that we're all going to develop and grow from. But you won't be able to do that if you continue to allow everyone to have access to you that are not necessarily on your side as you believe. Some people are just your comrades. They're just in it because they believe a similar task and you happen to be going the same way, but they're not really there to support you as an individual. And he needed to be supported as an individual and to have that confidence in his ability that he could lead and carry out and do what it was that he was assigned. So I hope that little nugget of wisdom will bless you guys today. I am about to head on out because I believe it's time for me to roll on out. So I thank you guys so much for for tuning in to Life Enchanted. Always like, subscribe, and share. But I always say, if you want to do anything, at least share, because these nuggets of wisdom can enlighten someone around you and yourself so that we can become the better person that we know that we are to be. Thank y'all so much. I'll be talking to you soon.